Crochet, and today we are here to learn how to make this gorgeous Irish stitch 3D flower, and we'll be making a granny square out of this. On the thumbnail you will see that it is a granny square. I've left this one unsquared so that I can show you how to do it for the video. Now in my last video I talked a little bit about this flower, and I'm going to talk about it again, so if you don't like talking in the beginning of a video and you're on a replay on Facebook or YouTube, you might want to go ahead and fast forward. But I will go ahead and tell you the materials now before I start yakking about what we're going to do here today. So what you're going to need is a 5mm hook or a size H. Remember that your size hook determines how big or how small your project is going to be. So if you want a smaller flower, you can use a smaller hook. If you want a larger flower, you can use a larger hook, but you may need a heavier weight yarn. Okay? You're also going to need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to tell you about this flower is that I used a mosaic type feel for this. So in other words, I did my colors strategically so that the white in the middle would pop out. Okay, so I used, I'm just going to tell you what I used for this. I used white Super Saver Red Heart for the middle. I used a Bernay light pink baby blanket Bernay for this. Then I used a ombre color yarn. It was Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and it's like a bright pink. It's this color right here. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use that for the video today. But I specifically used this color, and then I used this color. And the way that I did that was I worked with the middle of this, and then I found this color on the outside and ended up having to unravel some to do that. And that way it just gradually changed. For the actual granny square portion of this, which we will put on this in this circle right here underneath, I used the darkest color as well, as you can see in the picture on Facebook or either the thumbnail on YouTube. Just to let you know also, and I say this in every video, this will eventually be uploaded on YouTube, but I am on Facebook Live right now, so if you hear me talking to people, I'm not talking to myself. Okay, and also please like, share, subscribe. It helps so much, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Do all those wonderful things. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't give me a thumbs down. If you don't like it, just move on. But anyways, yeah, all the support is great. This is my own pattern. However, this Irish stitch is not mine. The way that I put the flower together as the pattern is mine, however, if that makes sense. The petals in the middle I made up. How I constructed it, I made that up, and how I put in the granny square I made up. So if you happen to sell this, remake it, do your own video about it, whatever you do, please just give me a thumbs up and a shout out about it, okay? I appreciate it so much. All right, so I've said all that jazz, so we can just go ahead and get started. And to let you know the way this flower is worked, in case it helps you to know how things go, we are going to start with a base of increases, and then we are going to work from that base and do all of our petals. All of those petals start from that and work forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this petal, and then I'm going to show you how to do this petal, and then you're going to be able to go on your own, and then I'm going to show you how to finish it up with the granny square. So the first thing we're going to start out is how to make this back, okay? So what you're going to do, and for the sake of this video alone, I will not be changing colors like I did for this one, where I went from the white to the light pink to the little bit darker to the dark. I'm just going to be using this ombre yarn. You can use whatever colors you want, and if you have problems with color changing in a video or with any of these stitches, please look on YouTube or Facebook at my beginner friendly my beginner crochet video, and I also have a tips and tricks video that I will link, and that shows you how to change colors really easily. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make a slip knot, and we are going to chain 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to slip stitch. I'm sorry, you're going to start with a chain of 6. So do a slip knot and start with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Then you're going to slip stitch to the first chain from the hook. Then you're going to chain up 1 to pull up your yarn, and you're going to put 12 single crochets into the middle of this circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, then I'm going to pull tight, and then I'm going to slip stitch to my first single crochet. We have, and you know what, I'm not even going to edit this for YouTube because I'm going to make them have to deal with whatever y'all are dealing with too on Facebook. You always get the mess ups, the mistakes. But like Bob Ross says, they're always happy mistakes, right? Okay, so we did the 12 single crochets into our circle of 6. So we know we did that, okay? And so we chained up 3. And now what we're going to do in this one, we're going to go right into the middle and still do 2 double crochets, okay? But in the next one, when we do 2 double crochets, I want you to work in the front loop only. Where is it? I'm sorry, in the back loop only. You're only going to work in the back loop. I'm so sorry. I should have wrote this down, and I'm a little discombobulated this morning, but basically you want to work in the back loop only because when we come back around to work our petals, we're going to be working in these front loops, okay? So it's not the front loop, it is the back loop. So just to repeat, you're going to chain 6, you're going to slip stitch to the first chain from the hook, then you're going to put 12 single crochets in the middle of that circle. Then you're going to chain 3, do another double crochet into that same space, and then that counts as our 2. We're going to go into the next and do 2 more into the back loop only, okay? So 2 double crochets into the back loop only. And into the next, 2 double crochets into the back loop only. And I'm so sorry about that, guys. Please forgive me. So remember, just working in this back loop, 2 double crochets all the way around. And as you can see, you see it's leaving that front loop right there, okay? Because we're going to be working into those. So you guys that are watching, Sammy, Rita, did I confuse the mess out of you guys? Okay, and now we're at the last one, and still working in this back loop only, we're going to do 2 double crochets. And you should have a count of 24. And then when you get up to this right here, to this chain of 3, I want you to Okay, Rita, thank you. I'm glad. Okay, so when you get up to this chain of 3 here, I want you to just go through one side of the loop instead of going through both. Okay. Then I want you to chain 3 and then go through that same loop right there that you worked into. And now you've got your 2 double crochets. And then just like we were doing before, the only difference is we're working in the back loops. Now I want you to do 1 double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. In the next one, working in the back loop only, I want you to do 2 double crochets. And in the next back loop, 1 double crochet. And in the next back loop, 2 double crochets. So just keep doing that all the way around, only working in your back loops 1 and 2. So there's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2, and then, like I was yakking about before, when we get to the end of this, I'll tell you what the count is. I think it's 30, but we shall see. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday. Sammy, how are you doing? So remember, only working in the back loop. And then you will end on 1 double crochet if you did it correctly, like I had said before. So we're going to put our 2 right here, working only in the back loop. This yarn is trying to get caught. And then 1 in the next. And our last one, okay? Just like that. So just doing increases like you're making a hat or amigurumi. So again, only working through one side here, we're going to do a slip stitch, then we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put another double crochet right in the same spot, okay? And now we're going to jump a little bit and change our increases. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then in the next 3 stitches we're going to put 1 double crochet, and then we'll do 2 double crochets, and then in the next 3 double crochets. So you're going to keep doing that all the way around. So we did our 2, and we're still working only in the back loop because we need to leave these front loops open for our petals. So can you see, we'll be working into here, and then in this last one we'll be working into this one. So this will be our last increase. So in our next stitch, working in the back loop only, we're going to put 1 double crochet. In the next back loop only, 1 double crochet. In the next back loop only, 1 double crochet. This yarn's a bit stringy. And so now we have our 3, and then we're going to go into the next and do 2 double crochets. So that's our increase for this round. Okay, 2 and then 3. So into the next 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to count. this round here. Sorry about that. Let's just count real quick, because I did want to make sure that we had 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I was way off. It's 36. So for that second round, you should have 36. Okay, so the first one 24, 12, 24, 36. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Chain up 3, double crochet, and then a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And you're just going to do that all the way around, making sure that you work in your back loop only. And you could make this flower smaller by, you could stop on this round, and so then you would only have like these 2 and this one. Or I'll show you when we do this. You could make it smaller if you wanted to. So working the 3 and 2 here. I swear this yarn is like the Caron Simply Soft in a way, and I don't know why. I didn't have this problem with the coral ombre super heart, but this one is definitely doing it. It's just where it gets a little stringy and wants to mess up on you. See? I don't know why some yarn does that. I think it has to do with the color too. Seems like it does that when you're working with certain colors, brighter colors. The pigment changes maybe changes the yarn texture. So while I'm doing this, going all the way around with our 2 and 3 here, or 3 and 2, whatever you want to call it, please, if you get a chance, share this video if you're on Facebook or YouTube. It helps so much, and I really appreciate it. So again, remember, just work in your back loops only. Okay, so if you did this correctly, when you get to the end, you will have 3 double crochets left. So you'll have 3 stitches and 1 double crochet in each left. But I am going to count so you'll know what the count is for this. because it is increasing a little bit differently. I usually know them by heart, but okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So you're going to end on 45. Okay? So now you're going to slip stitch to the top of, and this time you're going to go through both loops. Here at the top, you're going to slip stitch, and now you're going to cut off, because now you have the basis for your flower. Okay, now if you want to work in your ends as you go, I would suggest that, because it can get a little confusing as you're going along, but for this video I'm just going to leave them for right now. Okay, so what you're going to do is to make this petal in the middle. Okay, I'm going to show you one round of how to make this petal so that you can go on and do this petal, and then I'm going to show you how to do this one. Okay, so what you would do is you would bring in your yarn, and now you're going to work in these front loops right here. Okay, so these are the loops we're going to be working into. For mine, I even worked in this last, for this last one here, I worked on this outer, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, if you notice, right where we came in with these 2 double crochets here is where you see a break in these right here. Okay, and that's because there's really no way to keep that. If there is, please let me know, because I'm sure there's people who have been crocheting a lot longer than me and know more than me, and maybe they can, if you come across this video, let me know. But when I was making this pattern up, I just could not figure out how to keep the front loop open on this one when you're slip stitching, even when you go in through only the front loop. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here. Okay, but you can start wherever you want, but this is what I did. I started right here, and I pulled in my yarn. Okay, and I brought in. Now remember, if you want to change colors and you want to do it like this one, then you need to start with a very light color and work your way out. Okay, but I'm just going to use one color for this one. So I'm bringing in my yarn here, and to work this petal, okay, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to work a puff stitch. Okay, so after I chain to that 3, I'm going to go back into that same space, and I'm going to go in and yarn over and pull up my yarn 5 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I've got all this on my hook, and now I'm going to go through all of them. Okay, just like that, and then I'm going to single crochet at the very top to hold them together. Okay, then I'm going to go into my next available front loop space right here, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay, then I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to do again just what I did before. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go through my loop, I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to do that 5 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to go through all of those. Then I'm going to single crochet to close at the top. Okay, so I'm going to do this all the way around, and I'm going to show you a couple more times. So I'm going to find my next front loop, and you can hold this down if you want, if that helps. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do a single crochet, I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to work a puff stitch. I'm going to yarn over, go through my loop. There's once, twice, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to go through all of those and then do a single crochet at the top to hold them together. Okay? And as you go along, these are going to get a little bit more bunched up and bunched up to where it closes around the circle and looks very much like a flower. So again, I'm going into my next available front loop, doing a single crochet. I'm chaining up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm working my puff stitch. So I'm yarning over, going through my loop, pulling up my yarn, and I'm going to do that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to go through all of those loops, do a single crochet at the top to hold it together. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look a little funny there at first. I also want to tell you I'm shaking out my hands because they're numb. One day I'll have surgery. The one thing I want to tell you is when you're doing these puff stitches and you're close together, you really want to make sure to have the right tension, okay? So I'm going into my next front loop here. I'm doing a single crochet. I'm chaining up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then this is where it's important. You don't want it too loose and you don't want it too tight, okay? So I'm going to go in, pull up my yarn 5 times, okay? So I would like to keep it like right there, okay? I've pulled it up pretty far so I can get my loop through, but I don't want it like this or else it gets too sloppy, you see? And then it's hard to work in and it can get all messed up. So you've got to find that happy medium when you're doing these, okay? So again, going through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go through all of those on your hook. Do a single crochet at the end to pull them together, and then again find your front loop. Excuse me. Do a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and working in the same front loop again. We're going to yarn over and pull up our yarn 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go through all of those, single crochet at the top. And so at the end of this round, you should have 12 petals. And I'm going to show you what to do when we get up to here. But we're going to go into our next front loop and we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. So again, we're going to single crochet, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then going back into that same front loop, we're going to do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go through all of those, single crochet at the top. So now that I know how to do that, I'm just going to work a little bit quicker, if I can even work quicker, and get us around to the end here. And things are going to kind of close in on you a little bit. You can just move stuff out of the way. It's okay. They're all going to fit here. But you want them to do that because in the end, you see they just kind of fold together. And it really makes them look like a petal. So chaining up 3, yarn over, go through 5 times. And see, sometimes you can drop a loop, so make sure you put your hook right back through there if you do. So I'm just kind of working these as I go here. 1, 2, 3. And it just kind of looks like a mess as you're doing it, but it turns out really pretty. So let's count and see how many we've got so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need one more. And now we're at that part that I was telling you about where you kind of can't see where you need to go, because we're always at that beginning round where we did the 2 double crochets and you cannot see the front loop. So what I want you to do is just find any available space to work into. Just pick up, you know, any kind of front loop here that you can find and work into that. It'll still be okay. Okay, so this will be this way for every round when you get to the end here. You're just going to have to find a front loop to work into. And like I said, if someone knows a better way to do it, please let me know. So chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And this will be our last one. This is the 12th petal. And we're just going to work into here. And when you do this, it'll be a little bit harder to work into because the front loop wasn't put there for us on purpose like we had done before. So you're going to have to just, it'll be a kind of a tight place there to work through. Okay? And then you will go through all of those just like you've been doing. Well, mine got caught, so just going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I keep wanting to drop a loop there, but there we go. We finally did it. So now what you're going to do after you do that is you're going to go right underneath where you did your first flower, right underneath there, okay? I mean your first petal. You're going to go right underneath and you're going to do a slip stitch, okay? Now you are going to tie off after every round for this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I've done that round. I did my 12 petals. So now I'm going to tie off. And what I like to do is I take my hook and I pull this that I just tied off right around to the back, okay, so that it won't be in my way. And if there's any others, you can do the same thing. Just pull them back to the back, or you can work them in as you go, okay? So then what you're going to do is you're going to go into your next one right here, and you're going to do this, this one right here, and you're going to do another round of these, okay? And for this round we had 24, so you're going to have 24 petals in that round, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break real quick because my hands are hurting real bad, but I'm going to come right back and I'm going to show you in part 2 how to complete this, okay? So I will be right back. I'm just going to take just a moment to stretch out my hands, do a couple exercises for them, and then I'm going to finish this up. So just give me about 5 minutes and I'll be right back, okay? Thanks guys, bye-bye.